my kind of presentation. Can everybody see this?
I think it is.
Okay, great. So this is what we did last night, but I want to share the same thing, maybe in a little bit shorter version. Now, in terms of agenda, we already started and we are now set to go. And I already welcome you and again welcome again. Now, first of all, I will share my experience about myself, because this is done as an individual initiative. So some of you don't know me and some of you already know. So I want to explain about my background and why I'm going to work on this project. And then I'll introduce some about the programs, the criteria, details, and how you apply all these kind of things. And then we will have idea sharing by two of our participants today. So yesterday we had 3, but today we have Chinthaka and Pubudu. They will talk about their experience, and then we'll have a discussion and Q&A. Now this is kind of agenda, but since we are all like connected, if you have any clarification questions or if you want to ask anything from any participant or from me directly, you can disturb me and ask the question, or else you can also type in the chat box. But I think better to ask, because I'm now looking at my slide, so I won't be able to see the screen. Is it clear?
Yes.
If any of you have difficulty connecting, please connect back. Or in worst case scenario, you can watch the video on Jayananda, my YouTube channel, as a online online session. All right. Now, the idea of this session is to communicate to you about available programs and opportunities in Germany, professional and as well as educational opportunities, and also share my experience, my European and German experience, and 2 of my colleagues who are going to talk to you later. Plus also discuss about the details of programs, eligibility criteria, the process of application, cost, and related fees. Now, I'm going to talk about myself. Now, why I do this and why I invite you to do, because I had kind of a lot of experience out of South Asia, mainly in Germany and Europe. So I want to share with interested people like you. And also, I have found that a lot of people are not aware about education opportunities beyond traditional destination. Now, when I mention traditional, traditional destination, I'm talking about UK, Australia, US, maybe Malaysia, Singapore, and New Zealand. So when non-traditional destinations are like Germany, France, Sweden, Spain, those countries where I had my personal experience. And also some of you will be interested in getting my expertise in advising and guiding you. So I'm also happy to after this session to help you with your effort in securing positions and vacancies available in this program. Okay, now you can see a list of my expertise network in higher education sector in the world. And I will not go into details, but the point here is that I'm working in different capacities with different universities and higher education institutions in South Asia, in the US, as well as Europe. So it is now summer program is one of my offers or one of my connections I have beyond Sri Lanka. So you can see some of these roles I play with different institutions. Now, in terms of my educational background, I am an engineer by profession. Also, I have studied MBA from Pakistan and my second MBA from Germany in international management. And then I recently had executive education at Harvard Kennedy School. In addition to that, I also have some additional professional qualifications done in Germany, Spain, as well as some British qualification in Sri Lanka. Now, this is interesting because all these opportunities I got are mainly by means of scholarships. So the scholarships are also based on most of the time it's on merit and also maybe sometimes need. So I studied in many places beyond Sri Lanka by different forms of scholarship. That is the one reason I want you to also think about applying this program. There are a lot of such opportunities for people like you. Now, I have worked in Sri Lanka, in Pakistan, and Germany, uh, uh, kind of before my recent activities. So, I originally wanted to work in the private sector, so I studied to be a private sector executive, but later, particularly after my MBA and returning back to Sri Lanka from Europe in 2005, I mainly did work in higher education. I have been working as a university lecturer and also consultant to different international donor and local organization consultancy assignments. My last job was I was associate director at Regional Center for Strategic Studies. Uh, Regional Center for Strategy is a think tank based in Sri Lanka, but that's a regional think tank. So I worked as associate director till last January. Now I am working mainly on South Asian issues and advising some of working on international assignment as well as doing research on South Asia. And also I teach at the universities. At the moment, I am teaching at University of Colombo and University of Pubudu, mainly to MBA programs, teaching strategic management and project management. I have been teaching from 2005 at different universities for different subjects. Okay, this is also kind of relevant to you. Now, if you can see the special programs I attended, I have listed some of these programs from 2002 to 2009 and also in 2012. Now, these are mainly, most of them are summer programs. So you can see I have attended summer programs not only in Germany but in countries like Sweden, Switzerland, Finland, Denmark, India, Belgium, Doha, and other places. I listed some of them only, and also this the programs are not from single subject. You can see there are subjects related to economics, related to management, political science, and international security, and etc. So you can see this is kind of my main idea that now I have been able to participate at different summer program on different subjects in different locations for last 10 years. Mainly, actually almost all of them are on some form of funding. So that is the reason I want to extend that experience to people like you. Okay. And in addition to my summer programs participation, I have been invited to talk to different forums, especially at the universities, as well as some other forums in many countries. Also, I have conducted some workshops and seminars in different parts of the world, particularly in Europe, but also in other countries. You can see the list of these workshops I conducted in Germany, Thailand, Spain, Sri Lanka, Germany, Netherlands, Italy. And one of my most kind of frequent activity has been the paper presentation in different conferences. So here I have listed only I consider as kind of important places. For example, in China, in South Africa, Spain, University of Cambridge, IDS in UK, Sweden, then at Oxford. So this is up to 2010. Now, why I want to mention this one also here, because some of you will be interested. For example, if you are academic, if you want to do a research paper presented in an international conference, that is also one of opportunity I can provide in addition to summer program. Now, in terms of my living experience, I lived in Lahore for 2 years in Pakistan, 1 year in Germany, and then few months in Sweden, 1 year in Spain, few months in Switzerland, and again 1 year in Germany before coming back to Sri Lanka. Now I have a professional experience. That means either I have studied or done some academic work in 22 countries up to now, and overall I have visited 32 countries. Now this is important to mention because I come from a let's say suburban middle class family from Sri Lanka. So a person from island nation travel into different countries. It's not very very easy if you don't have a very rich family background or institutional support. So I did within last 14 years. It's my own initiative. So that is what I'm saying now. All of you, of course, most of you are more privileged than me. So, but then it's not necessarily that you have to be, from a rich family or strong global institution. You can still make to visit and work in different countries, as I have shown in my case. Okay, so to summarize about me, now I have learned these following things from experience. So I want to share some of them for you to prepare ground for your work for the future. Now it's very important that where you are from, what is your background, it doesn't really matter as far as you are willing and you are happy to adapt, learn and understand new cultures. So multiculturalism very important in different places wherever you go. And also now a lot of global issues are not anymore singular disciplinary. Now maybe you can be engineer, political scientist or management expert, but whether you are going to conference, whether you are going to do a summer program, you will always meet people beyond your academic discipline. So it will be useful for you to also have multidisciplinary approach in terms of maybe qualification, in terms of your background, in terms of your work experience. So problems will not be engineers problem alone or political scientist problem alone. So there will be multidisciplinary issues. So you have to handle those issues in that way. And also now it is very important that in different societies you have to develop different tools for survival. Now if you are in a liberal country, Western country like Sweden or Germany, you will have different sets of skills to survive and be in that country compared to, let's say, countries like India, Pakistan or Sri Lanka, where you will have different set of skills that develop. I will not go into detail. So based on the country you are, you have to develop some survival tools in this society. And next point is very important. That is, now as a young professional, regardless of your background or your country of origin or even your gender, you will have to develop same set of professional ethics. For example, I emphasize the idea of integrity, professional integrity, punctuality. There are a few other such professional ethics, but it's very important when you are working with global set of people. Like even in our session now we have about 7-8 countries. So if you are courteous enough, if you respect other persons, if you are professionally let's say in high ground, so you can work with a global team. That's also very important. Regardless of your personal ethics or religious ethics or whatever it is, maintaining high standard of professional ethics is very important in communicating and working with multicultural people. Now, you may already aware and you are also part of that. Now, global networks of professionals, global networks of social communities are very important. Now, one thing you will realize, one thing you will develop from the summer program is that developing like-minded people from different countries. So these will be useful in your career, in your future ventures, as well as in personal life. So that's also important. Now, these communities are actually a set of power for you. You can have positional power, education power, but having access to global network of professions is also way of getting professional, I would say power. Now, the idea of funding opportunities. Now, maybe some of you think that if you don't have a lot of money, you can't have an international career, you can't have international education qualification. That is not the case. Now, there are many opportunities which I have shown some of my experience, that there are a lot of opportunities where if you are basically, of course, you need to have some academic credentials and professional achievements. But if you are a hard worker, if you look for different opportunities, if you are willing to take a risk and do something beyond the traditionally available opportunities, there are always opportunities where you get higher education as well as professional experiences. Now, I keep on emphasizing the idea that education is not a destiny but a journey. That means maybe you already have a master's degree, PhD, or you are a senior manager in organization, but not in the global workforce, global management or professional dynamics. You are not anymore. You can't say I'm now enough, I'm old, or I have this thing, therefore I don't want to study further, or I don't have to get any additional experience. I strongly disagree with that. What I have seen is that it's a journey. So you can keep on adding your experience, new adventures, new ideas. So that's very important to be, remain competitive in whatever the career you are. So now my extra education at Harvard Kennedy School kind of set my belief system. So I'm also like a continuous learner. I'm looking for new opportunities. So as a part of that only, I will also like sharing these opportunities or these ideas with you. And the final point is now, of course, education is an expensive thing all over the world, especially your professional education. So therefore, you have to calculate that as a social as well as financial investment, where you look at what you get out of particular investment you make. So you should take a decision based on how much money you put, how much effort you make, as well as your personal commitment. So these are things to consider in deciding on the professional education opportunity. Okay, I'm sure all of you know about me, but I strongly advise you to look at my website, Chaminda Hettiarachchi, and also I'm active on social media, so you can connect with me in all these social media tools I have listed. Plus, you can also uh, Google me as my name as Chaminda Hettiarachchi or as Jayananda. Now, LinkedIn is a good social media tool where I focus more on my professional activities. So you can see my publications, interviews, and other things. So please have a look at my profile when you have time, and also connect to me, because we can keep in touch with for different reasons. I'm sure you already have my email as well as mobile phone. Okay, this is about me. Anybody has any clarification questions or anything you want to ask about me at the moment?
I think I am clear. I think you can go ahead.
Okay, so you can still see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to introduce the program about summer program. Now, first of all, I will tell why you should think about Germany as a place where you should get an education or professional qualification. Now, of course, you are aware that Germany is a. By the way, who has this noise from the background? Now, if you can mute your mic, then you won't hear these noises and mobile phone ringing. I hear somebody has very high noise. Can you please mute your mic if you don't want to talk, so I can continue talking. I get a lot of vehicle background noise. So please mute your mic. You know how to mute your mic, right? Try in your so I get still the noise. Please mute your mic, so we won't hear your noises. Okay. Germany is one of best performing economy in the world, and it's best performing economy in Europe at the moment. And it is also known for its high technological advancement, innovation, as well as high tech industries. And in Germany, if you are if you are educated in Germany in technology, social science, medicine, your qualification will be recognized all over the world, because Germans are in the cutting edge of technology, science, research and development, as well as even social science like philosophy, political science. Uh, Now, compared to many other OECD countries or English-speaking countries, uh, education is most of the places are free, but also sometimes you will have only negligible or nominal fees, so it's almost free. And Germany is one country where you still get full scholarships. For example, scholarship like DART or Erasmus Mundus programs are covering German universities. So therefore, compared to many countries like at least UK, Australia, you get very generous scholarships, whether it is for masters, PhD, or even for short courses like summer programs. And many German universities now, for last 10 to 15 years, they conduct programs exclusively in English. Therefore, you don't have to know German to follow the particular course. And also, if you are a student or if you are a visitor in Germany, that means you have access to travel to about 25 countries in so-called Schengen area. I think that's also a unique advantage of going to a European country. And now in Germany, you will not only get your education, but also it's an entirely different society. I'm not talking only about Germany, but there are about 100 million people so in so-called German speaking world. That is Germany, Austria, part of Switzerland, uh, Luxembourg, part of Italy. So there are people who are working, thinking, and living in German way. So you will also get experience of living and working in that setting. This is important because the way they do business is different. Now, if you want to do business with English-speaking countries, that's a different way of doing business. But if you want to do or have some interaction with German-speaking world, having this kind of exposure is very useful. And also, what I have seen during my different experience in different countries, living student life or cost of living or quality of life of a student in Germany is very high compared to countries in the same league. So that's also one advantage. And also now, since German education is not much known outside, let's say German speaking world, so you will be able to get admission not really easily, but with as not difficult as getting into a high quality American or British university. So comparatively not very high competition. So therefore, I would say Germany is the ideal destination to get international professional or management qualification for a person like you or for me. Now, having said all these positives, I want to also address why they are not very popular. Germans are not very popular compared to universities in UK, Australia, or US. First of all, a lot of people don't know that these kind of universities exist. They German universities teach in English, so this is not like knowledge by many people in our part of the world. And also, German universities can't appoint agents or advertise on commercial basis, because the universities are still state funded, government they are government money, so you can't do promotions. That is why you don't see newspaper advertisements by German universities done in no country. Because this is coming from the idea that education is a right, it's a kind of right of people, it's not something you can trade as a commodity. Now, compared to countries like Australia, where they consider education is university education is a tradable commodity, you can export it, you can market it, but that is not yet applicable to many European countries. So that is why you don't see them in newspapers saying that come to us and nice advertisement. Of course, some of you, Germany didn't have colonies, so therefore the German education system is not really international in terms of education system. Therefore, there was the issue of compatibility in terms of admission criteria, in terms of qualification. So there were some complications during last century. Now it's changing, but anyway, now like for example, people from Commonwealth countries, they always like to go to UK because we have compatibility of education system. And even though I say now there are programs in English done in Germany, it is also new, not actually not older than maximum 10 to 15 years. So there's a perception that German universities are conducting programs in English. So therefore, a lot of people are not much interested in applying. That is not the case. It's changing now, but it has been the situation before. And as a part of the language, now even though you can study in a university in English, but to interact with people, interact with the society, you still want to know something beyond English. Better to learn German, but maybe when you go to Germany, you see there are a lot of people speaking Spanish or Turkish or even Russian. So it's a multi-linguistic country, and it's sometimes a barrier for people to live with only knowing English. And also, even though I said at the beginning that admission criteria are, admission is easier than high-ranked universities in US or Britain, but if you look at admission criteria, Germans are not really keen on hiring people or admitting people with lower qualification. For example, if you want to go to UK university with your O-levels or 10 years of education, still you can have some kind of top-up courses and get admission. But German universities are very strict on their admission criteria, which I will explain later. So that is kind of tough. So just by having money, they won't take you. You have to show them that you are really achieved person to be in their one of their universities. I'm sure this is same with many countries where you are from, but being a Western country doesn't mean that you can get admission easily, because in a country like Germany, admission is the difficulty, not funding. If you get admission, most of the time you get funding. And compared to countries like England or Australia, I would still say opportunities for part-time job is not very high. So therefore, if you want to study there, maybe as a long-term student, better to have some money for your living expenses, at least for 6 months or depending upon the course. But it's not really easy like getting job opportunities what you do in England. Now also, now if you are interested in living after your qualification, Germany is not still the country I can recommend, because they are not well defined post-qualifying retention schemes like what you see in UK, Australia, New Zealand or England. And also, I have also found that Germany as a country, as an education service provider, they are also interested in selected international destinations. Maybe because of their financial interest, maybe because of their policy decisions. Germany is not really interested in smaller countries. I'm not saying that they don't take people from small countries. What I'm saying is that they actively, for example, look for students mainly from countries like China, Mexico, Latin America, some African countries, as well as India. So you don't see many Sri Lankan students or Maldivian students, Nepali students in Germany, because I think now they are understanding that it's very important to invite and have people from India and big economies as people educated in Germany. So therefore, you don't see the embassies in those countries are really embassies or cultural centers are really promoting people to go and study in Germany, compared to what you see by Australian government or British government. So what are the opportunities available? Mainly they are postgraduate programs done exclusively in English. Now there are few bachelor's programs also, done in single, in English, but mainly I think attractive or easy access is to do PhDs as well as master's programs. Also, Germany is actually one of I would say a very country with very high number of conferences, academic conferences. So there are many opportunities for you if you are a scholar, if you are a researcher, to participate as a conference paper presenter. Normally that will be funded. You get travel grants or something like that. And also there are some opportunities if you are a younger professional, if you are a younger student, you can study, you can do internship in selected companies or some organizations like non-government organizations. There are some job opportunities, but these are not very common, but theoretically there are opportunities. And the final thing which I am going to explain today is summer programs. Summer programs is our focus of discussion. We look at these are short courses done at different universities, but that's one kind of product German universities are promoting to people like you. So these are different opportunities a person can think if you are thinking Germany as a educational or career destination. Any questions up to now? Everybody is happy? Clear?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
right.
yes.
So I'm going to talk about summer training programs in Germany and what are these and how you can get admission. Now, during the summer, mainly from July to October, the universities are on vacation, so there are no classes for regular students. So what they do is they try to use this, let's say, space and resources to invite people from different countries to discuss and share research experience on a particular topic. So this is mainly done by actually university professors of different departments with funding from German government. Okay, so what are the benefits for us to participate in this program? Now, these are not formal qualifications, 2 years, 3 years. These are short courses, focus on a small, like a specialized topic. For example, let's say you doing business in Europe. So you will get a training program doing business in Europe for 2 weeks, or maybe European institutions, set about European institution or European integration. So it's a selected topic on a particular academic area. Now you will get a good certificate saying that you have participated in this kind of specialized training program or summer program. And now it's very important that these are not like cheap local level programs that you see in some other countries. These are really world-class research and technology related experience, because some of these professors are like global number ones. For example, I remember I went to 2-3 times in a summer program in simulation. So the simulation for social scientists, it's actually that place I went, it's called Pubudu University. They are the number one in the world in terms of publication, in terms of research they do. So same way, whether it is South Asian studies, whether it is federalism, whether it is political science, there will be, those programs will be world class in that particular subject. And also based on your program, you will also have opportunity sponsored, organized by the this summer program to visit 11 important maybe companies, organizations, or sometimes even political institutions. For example, if you are going to a summer program in Berlin on political science or international relations, the chances are high that you get a visit or opportunity to meet some European politicians, guest talk by important German politicians, or visit to German parliament, things like that. And now when you go from, say, from India or Egypt as a participant to summer program in Germany, it is not that you are sitting with 20 of other German students. You will have most probably 19 people from 19 countries, maybe one from Germany, with maybe faculty also, some from outside, but some from Germany. So you will automatically get access and to know people from many countries by just sitting in your class. They become your classmate. This is very important. It's not like small thing. Maybe you won't take that serious during that time, but you realize after 5 years, 10 years, they are going to be your long-term career partners, even in your life later. And also, just going to Germany is not actually to get some new knowledge in a subject area or else to get a certificate, but you will have opportunity to experience one of most advanced, I would say, societies in the world, whether it is infrastructure, whether it is social practices, whether it is philosophy. Wherever you go in Germany, you see European history, technological advancement, things which you, I mean, for example, before going to Germany, I never saw them in my life. So whether it is a railway station, whether it is a museum, whether it's a castle, there will be, a lot of addition to your life. And finally, as I told you, once you go to Germany, you can plan your visit to cover some other countries. You will see some experience that, let's say, going from Germany to Switzerland is maybe shorter and faster and cheaper than going from Germany, one side to Germany to other side of Germany. So for weekend, you can go to Switzerland or to Belgium or Luxembourg or Poland. And sometimes actually programs are such that some part in Poland, some part in Germany, or else you live in Poland and travel to your classes in Germany. So these are some of opportunities you will benefit you get by being a participant of a summer program. Now, who are the ideal candidates or target audience for these programs? Mainly, I think they are focused towards postgraduate students. That means PhD or master students studying at government universities, but private universities okay. There are some programs targeted also for advanced stage of undergraduate students. Now, Germany is encouraging a lot of researchers and lecturers from south countries in the south, from developing countries to come and update their knowledge. So they are very keen on university lecturers as well as researchers attached to think tanks and non-government organizations to go and participate in their programs. And of course, Germany is actually even funding government servants to go and train in their countries. Now, Germans are very active in development aid. They have, GT, CERT, and all these different aid agencies. So they also invite people working for non-government organizations. Non-government in the sense not only development agencies, but can be Chamber of Commerce, can be professional association. If your organization is not for profit, you will be eligible based on this category. There are programs also targeted at corporate sector. They're not really commercially sold programs. Now, for example, Germany is very much interested in green economy or environmentally friendly technologies. So they will invite people from developing countries, also other countries, to study how to make green technologies. So sometimes even they subsidize the government, some corporates in Germany fund this program or subsidize this program, so they become affordable to people from other countries. And also there are other programs targeted at special interest groups. Okay. Now, what kind of programs available? There are many programs, but when I look at categories, now there are programs focused on German and other language studies. And then there are programs dealing with social, cultural, and media studies. One of key category of such programs are for law students, management, and on economics. And also there are programs, also this is a strong area for natural science, computer science, engineering, biomedical engineering, nanotechnology, mathematics, the science domain. And also music, arts, film, and design. Now this is one area where I didn't get many students actually. Now this is the one set category of program where the charges are not very high, and you will get access to very advanced technology, very advanced knowledge if you participate in, let's say, film, summer programs in film or in arts or in even design in Germany. And also there's final category is interdisciplinary studies. They don't focus on particular subject area, but look at interest of the people of different profile. So these are called interdisciplinary studies. Now for this summer, there are about 150 courses, summer programs done in English, and also there are about 100 more courses in German. Unfortunately, now some of these courses are already closed because one deadline was last March 15, and one deadline is going to be April 15. So there are still programs you can apply, but when you are late, the number of programs available will be also reduced. Okay, so in terms of admission, now they will look at different criteria, not only academic excellence, but multi-dimensional criteria. For example, to apply for to getting admission as well as to get scholarships, you have to have a very good academic background. I mean, you should have at least good undergraduate degree with high marks, or good working experience and professional qualifications. Strong resume in terms of where you have worked. If you have worked in multinational environment, if you have worked in Europe, maybe Africa, in different conflicted societies, if you have done something on a development, some special thing, that also helps. And also you have to explain why they should admit you, why they should offer scholarship to you. So you have to explain why you are different to other applicants. So what can you contribute to summer program as an individual based on your expertise and experience. So that is also important thing. You should be able to communicate to the people who are admitting that you are a unique candidate, you are a very hard working person, you have a vision for your career. So this is one strong dimension they consider, how confident you are and how valuable you are to their program. And of course you have a set of standard forms you have to fill by online or by post. And the recommendation letters also important. Now, normally they ask you one academic reference letter by a professor or a lecturer who has taught you to tell that you are academically sound person, as well as if you are working, somebody from your organization or supervisor or colleague who can recommend your working patterns, and based on your work, he or she should be able to recommend you. And now since people apply from different countries and these programs are done in English, German universities ask you to prove your English language skill. So the traditional ways are, I'm sure you know already, IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge certification. But then if you have also done your studies in English, that's also all right. So but you have to prove some other way that you can you can participate in some more programs in English. This is mainly applicable actually to Chinese, Mexicans, and Koreans and Japanese. But if you are even applying from Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, Egypt, still you have to give some indicators that you can manage this program in English. Okay, final point on cost. Now these are only estimated costs for a generic program. The actual cost can be either low or high. But I would say for your planning purposes, if you don't get a scholarship, if you are going as a fully paid participant, the fees for a summer program of 2 weeks will be around €1,000, and accommodation and food you have to budget for 2 weeks about €500. These are not very high. You can of course spend a lot of money, but like a postgraduate student's life, single room in a university apartment. Then travel, visa, insurance, depending on where you are traveling from, I would say about €1,000. So we are talking about a total cost of $2,500 or $3,250. You have to budget. Now I want to emphasize here that you don't have to pay this to even to them or to me or anybody. This is the budget you should have in your mind when you are planning this, if you are going as a non-scholarship participant. But if you get a scholarship, maybe you had only budget, you have to pay about $250 for your visa, insurance, and other expenses. Now, if you get partial scholarship, for example, sometimes you get scholarship only, the university will provide you fees, accommodation, and travel you have to bear. That means about 1,500 you have to pay by your pocket, and they will provide you fees. Sometimes you get fees and accommodation both they cover. Then you have to budget about €1,000 or $1,300 for your additional logistics. Now we are talking about maximum 3,500 US dollars project for 2 weeks program. Now I want to emphasize here again that now if you do a similar course in England, in Australia, in Singapore, Malaysia, US, this will actually be more than 30,000 US dollars, because to get a certificate like this, it is very expensive. Accreditation all over the world is very expensive. But since German universities, German government subsidize German universities as well as attract people from outside, these are all subsidized rates because you will be treated as students. So it's important that we are talking about something at least 5 times more market based on market rates. They are more 5 times expensive than the figures we have shown here. But you have to budget on this much. I am going to show some sample programs. Before that, I think maybe I will show some of these programs for you to get some idea. Any questions up to finance? Let me show you some programs just to get some idea. Now, what I am going to show you only some samples. These are not the programs we are going to only talk about during this year, but I want to give you indicator or some idea about how these programs will look like. Okay, I'm going to show you one program now. Okay, this is a program. Can you see the screen? Dot.
Yes.
Can you see the website? Yeah. Okay. So I will just briefly go through that. Now this is a program on management, markets and management in Europe. It is a 3 weeks program. You see the course content. They are not hardcore management. It's more about cultural diversity, economics of European Union. Now you have to, now in terms of course language, it's English. You have to prove that TOEFL 90 or equivalent. So you can say if you have done your studies in English, you can say that you have English proficiency. And target group is advanced undergraduate business students, maybe 3rd year, 4th year, or graduate. If you are graduate or postgraduate, this is good for you. So they will take about 25 people. Deadline is actually this end of this week, 1st of April. Now course fee is €1,400. Maybe that's like $2,000 or maybe less than $2,000. Now this include tuition and application fees, accommodation with breakfast, and academic support program. Maybe that means you visit different places, your health insurance, accident and liability insurance, service, and most of the optional culture and leisure time program. That means you will get everything for 1,200. So you have to pay only your travel and visa fee, maybe another $1,000 or $1,500. Now you can see altogether it's like less than $3,000 program. You get accommodation in a double room with private bath and breakfast. Okay, there are the details, but just wanted to show type of these programs. I will also show another program. This one. Okay, this is on regional learning and development, role of economy. It's more kind of soft development related program. Let me some school post accommodation. Okay, so this program is okay. This done in, I think, August, September. 1 week program. Program you can download, but master student with interest in sustainable development of regions are welcome to apply. Now, for example, if you are interested in South Asian development, you can apply. People from management, education, regional development are also invited. It's kind of open. You get a language requirement. Therefore, English is required. You get a certificate. But if you are not a part of UK, British University, I mean European University, you don't need this credit points, but you still get a certificate. And cost, it's very cheap program actually. Cheap in the sense very subsidized. It's about $600 or $650, and you have to pay for maybe accommodation and traveling and food. But maybe sometimes they say additional funding opportunities will be communicated in due course. For example, if they they are asking money from German government, so sometimes you get additional funding. Let's say they will give you accommodation free or something. But that is comparatively not so expensive program on regional planning and development. And also I want to show maybe one more. This is a program on. Okay, this is a program on political parties and democracy. Now, this is it's a program where you get full funding. I'll show you. This is of course on political science and political science subject. Now it is DART. You can see will financial support from DART. That means okay. Now this is available till March 15. Now you have to pay 750 euros, about $1,000. It will cover your tuition, accommodation, and travel inside in the program. When you visit Berlin, for example, they will pay for that. Also, travel to Hamburg, and there are some receptions. Lunch is covered, internet and all the other computer access, and also you get your travel grant. If they consider you are a good applicant, maybe coming from South Asia, you are working on some political science issues, political parties, you get also your travel refunded based on that funding. Okay. Yeah. So when you pay 750, a lot of your cost will be covered. Okay. One more thing, final one. This is actually a program focused toward younger people. If you have, for example, sons or brothers, somebody of in high school age, 19 years or 17 years. Is it coming? Yeah. There are also few programs focusing on younger people. I'm for example, I'm not dealing with those programs, but I want to say that there are opportunities. Even kids like A level or high school students also will have opportunity. It's not coming. So there are different programs looking at different target audiences as well as at different prices. Maybe I can show you that corporate sector program. Last program maybe. Are you there? No, this is gone.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. This is a program actually targeted towards more corporate sector people, not necessarily corporate sector people, but it is a program on renewable energies and climate protection. Now you can see this is funded by many, supported by many corporates. Green economy, biomass. Now you see these are companies and as well as universities doing work on green energy and green technology and all these things. So therefore, the prices are very cheap. Even if you pay now, if you are a student, for a fee for a day is $20, and even if you are from a corporate sector, it's $30 per day. That means if you are going for 5 days, let's say you go for 1 week program, it's 3 into 5, €150, over $200 for the course, and then you can uh, look for different scholarships. Now, if you get into this kind of scholarship, there are other ways you can apply for scholarship. For example, you can ask for now Stripton or Dart Foundation in your own country. You can try to get, or maybe in your country, if somebody is interested in getting your knowledge on renewable energy, it's good. So the idea is that even though this kind of program is actually very valuable, it has very high market value. Now, but if you get into this admission, you get a European qualification, a German qualification of environmental management, energy management, which will be very useful in your career. So, if you are working for a corporate sector, if you want to be a consultant working on green energy, this is an ideal program for you to attain, even by paying your own funding. If you have, you can afford that. Now this is also okay. It's, can you see a PDF file? It's coming. I think you can't. Okay.
Not yet. It's coming. I think it's coming. Yes.
Yeah. Now this is. I could have actually downloaded it before. Okay. Here. Now you see. This is in German, but I want to explain to you since I have read it before. Now it is actually it's a certificate. You become an energy manager in Europe. You can get that certificate as a part of that program. If you participate, you get additional qualification. I think you have to pay additional amount and stay 1 more week or something. You become a European energy manager. You get an energy manager certificate that will help you advising in your country how companies should go for green energy. So this is really good program if you are interested in working on something like European. This is called European Energy Manager qualification. So these are additional kind of facilities you have. Okay. Any questions on program? I showed you only sample. There are many programs like that. Some programs which are different. Some may be similar. Now the point is, I want to say how much it costs, whom they are targeting, what is the structure. Those things I showed as a sample. Okay, next is ideas by previous participants. We have actually 2 participants from each 2011 and 2012. We have Pubudu online today with us, and Chinthaka Kazim joined us yesterday, but he is busy today. And Dinesha is out of the country. She is traveling in she's in Taiwan. So we will have 2 people talk with you, but all of these people are actually you can talk to them over Facebook or contact later. Now Dinesha, it was Dinesha's first time to go to Germany. It was her first time actually out of Sri Lanka. So she worked for World, it's an non-government organization, World Vision. She got also good travel funding. And Kazim is he was a PG, he was an MBA student, but now he is a company director. He also went to Germany for the first time, but also he got a scholarship, and he got, actually covered about 4 or 5 countries within a 1 week program. He talked to the other participant yesterday in the last session, but today you can listen to Chinthaka and Pubudu. Chinthaka, you like to start?
I think Pubudu can start. Ladies first, as I said.
Okay, ladies, yesterday first. Yeah, no, you can go ahead for change.
Oh, is it alright? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, to start with, I think I introduced you before. I'm Chinthaka Jayananda. I'm joining from Scotland, and I am a PhD student of University of Dundee, Scotland, in Dundee Business School. So I'm now going to share some of my experiences after some program I participated last year in Germany, University of Koblenz-Landau. So So now I'm now sharing my presentation. Could you please tell me if you can see the presentation? I mean, the first slide.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes. It's coming. Okay.
Is it coming?
Yeah.
It okay?
Yes.
So this is just to say that this is how I met Chaminda. This was first he came in 2010. I met him in York, and he came in 2011, 2012. So continuously he was here. And 2010 we organized a program at York St. John University to share these European experiences. And then in 2011 he came and we discussed about this. In 2012, after his Harvard visit, on his way to Sri Lanka, on his way back Sri Lanka, he visited us. So it was a good thing happened to us. We could share some of his Harvard experiences here. We were some of the first Sri Lankans who could share his Harvard experiences. And there he did not stop there. He decided to do another program for the Sri Lankan students just to encourage them to see a different kind of system, especially the Europe, which is closer to us. So when we are in UK, so that's how I got to know Chaminda. And to start about my German experience, could you see the second slide, please?
Yeah.
Okay. You can see, right?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah, it's German experience. I categorize it into 4 main themes: education, travel, the cultural national diversity. That means the people I met, and the observations that I made during the summer program. It is also part of my education process, and so these are the main themes that I'm going to discuss with you today about my German experience. So to start with education experience, can you see the next slide then? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, you can see, yes.
Okay, yeah.
So this is where I studied School of Entrepreneurial Design Thinking in Koblenz. This is one of the subjects I studied. I studied 3 subjects: integrated business design and international business management. The other 2. I had to give up German because I decided to go for business-related subjects because it was a 1-month program. Became very intensive in the end. I'm doing 3 subjects, but still I did that. I decided to do that. So in that case, I had to give up German, unfortunately. But the idea is, it is coming from Stanford University, and it is a very good thing happened to me that you can't pay for this. When you go to Stanford, it is really expensive to study this subject. It's a very developed subject. Even in Germany, it's developed. But here you pay like 175 euros for this program, and when you're paying like I don't know how much it is even. It's really expensive there. So that's what I studied. So and then to explain you my travel experience, I hope you can see my next slide, right?
Yeah, we can
Hello?
see.
Yeah, I can see it. Yes, I can see it.
Yes, the European travel experience. That was one very interesting thing I experienced. Because even if I'm in Europe at the moment, even if I'm in England, I still cannot experience this because we are still in an island. And as a Sri Lankan, I was in an island. So it's only in Europe you can experience this in the world. So where you have the next train is to another country. So the pictures you have here on your left is uh, when I was about to go to Luxembourg, and on your right it's when I'm in Luxembourg with my fellow students. And unfortunately, I could make it only to one country because, as I said, it became an intensive program, and I had classes like 4 days every week, almost all 5 days every week. So this was just I had the weekends. It was my decision. So that's the European travel experience, and the people I met. I think you can see the next slide, right? Hello?
Yes, I can see it. Yes. I'm with you.
Okay. So this is the experience I had. This is the people I met. I came to England in 2009, but unfortunately I could not experience this much of diversity within my classroom because we had a lot of Asians, we had some Asians, we had a lot of Sri Lankans. We didn't have many of the Europeans in our classroom. We had few Americans, but this was a truly multicultural, multinational experience because you can see the people who participated in this program. It's from Philippines, from Switzerland, the Chinese those living in Australia, and there were some Polish studying in Germany, and there was an Albanian studying in Greece and living in Greece, and there were some Russians who were living in and studying in Germany, and there were some Ukrainians who were studying in Germany. So it was a very very multicultural experience. So that's about the people I met and the experience. And go to the next slide. So you can see my next slide, right?
Yes.
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 Yes, these are the simple observations I made. The picture on your left is it is part of the program. Actually, they took us to one of the vineyards in Koblenz. It's in Koblenz. It's a family business, and like 5 families are doing this wine production. So they took us to this place, and they explained us the process of producing wines. And I think this the one on your left, I think it was the second week of the program. As I said, during the weekends only I made these trips. So this is in Frankfurt, where I saw a luxury brand street. So in London there are some places, but they are not in one street. But here in Frankfurt you'll find it in one street, where you have Prada, Louis Vuitton, one of the most luxurious brands in the world. So I went into those shops, I observed them, and it's a very interesting thing to see that as a business student, how the luxury brands are working in Europe, how their business is done in Europe, and especially in a country like Germany. So go to the last slide. There are some things that I could not do, but I recommend you to do. So I hope you can see my next slide, right?
Yes.
Yes, the early preparation is a must, because in my case, I was here in England, and Chaminda was there in Sri Lanka. So I had to do most of the things by myself. He was really guiding me. It was a different thing rather than he was, he was guiding me. I had to guide him sometimes because, well, that was the situation. I was here and he was there, so I had to deal with the visa offices, and with the embassies, and I liked that way when he allowed me to guide him rather than he's guiding me. So I learned a lot from it, how to deal with these visa agencies. I had because I had very little time to prepare for this, but in the end it took like 3 months to prepare for this program. from the place where I started, like getting all those recommendations and preparing my papers, motivation letters. So it's not an overnight process. That's what I have to mention. So for the people who are in Sri Lanka, they have an opportunity to work they have the opportunity to work with Chaminda to get this. So it'll make a lot easier for you. But in my case, so that was my case. It became very challenging. So the other thing I could not do is I could not visit other parts of the Germany. I was in the western part of the Germany, and the eastern part of the Germany is Berlin, Munich. These places I could not visit because of because as I said I had like 3-4 days of lectures to attend and projects presentations to do. So it was became very intensive. So anyway, I saved these to another trip. I will do it maybe next year. So and visit more countries. Why not? If the next train is to another country, why not? In my case, it became a little bit difficult, but I could make it to Luxembourg and some parts like Frankfurt, Munich, within Germany. But I recommend you if you go there, better you try it. So and try the special German motorway if you can, not by yourself maybe because you can't have this experience. And the German motorway, it's called Autobahn. It is the only that kind of motorway in the world where you don't have a maximum speed limit. So I could not make I didn't want to try it by myself because we have never tried motorway or something, motorway that doesn't have a maximum speed. So I tried it to do it with one of my friends, so who's living in Germany, who's a German, and he could not make it unfortunately. So I will do it next time. Really, it's really very very exciting to do it. So not by yourself. I'm not recommending you to do it by yourself, but try it with somebody else who has that knowledge, who has the knowledge about the motorway and who has got that experience. So this is about me and my experience. I wish you all the best, and I wish you to have a very nice, very interesting, exciting German trip. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Hello, Chaminda. I think maybe Pubudu can start now, right?
Yes, I think he's there. Can I start?
Yeah,
Okay,
he
I
says yes.
think, I will start. Like, I'm Pubudu Senaratne. I gave you a brief introduction about myself before. Um, I'm a psychologist and I work for Center for Victims of Torture. That is an INGO funded by USAID, based in the US. And I was graduated from University of Peradeniya, Sri Lanka, and then I did my masters in University of Delhi. By the time I applied this German program, I had already finished my masters, and I was at the same time I was working for a not-for-profit organization. It was not the present one that I am working. It was previously I was working for something else, and as I have prepared. I can show you some of my presentations I have made. Just a second. Well, I think it's not something is wrong there. My program was basically I try later to
Again,
upload
try
it.
again. Now you can try again.
Yeah.
Screen share. Voice
Okay. That button is
deactivated. Huh? Now you can go ahead and make.
yeah, it's deactivated.
Okay, you go ahead. I'll check to activate it from here. Void.
Okay. Uh, Now my program is the topic of the program is medical tourism, and I'm really glad to say that I was fully funded by DART. I got a full scholarship to attend this program. If I say something about my program, the program included guest lectures and presentations,
Okay.
discussions,
Can you see?
excursion.
Can you see the screen now? I have shared.
Charm in this, if you go
Yes,
charm
sir.
in the screen, you'll
I
see
see
that.
it.
Okay. Uh, okay.
You
Shall I
can
go on?
screen as a big screen. Then you can see the. Now I'm in first slide. I go to second slide. Okay. Yeah. Please.
Okay. Now this is the second slide. Uh, these are the basic parts of the program. The program included guest lectures and presentations, discussions. Those means classroom discussions. Also, yeah, that was very unique, and excursions to different areas in Germany, and also presentations. Each participant had to do a presentation on their research area related to this medical tourism topic. And also at the end of the program, we got a certificate. Uh, as I mentioned you earlier, the program was fully funded by DART, and the program was held in University of Ulm. And if I say a little bit more about DART, DART stands for German Academic Exchange Service, and this program was funded with funded. Hello.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. This program was funded by DART with financial assistance of German Federal Foreign Office. So in that way, I think this is the fourth. Now it is the fifth slide. These are the conditions of DART sponsorship. I got lodging and food, air and travel expenses, insurance, and also my visa fee was refunded. So almost the whole program was free. Now my visa the interesting thing was even my visa fee was refunded, and also during my stay in Germany I got a full insurance during the summer program. I hope you can see these, and now I will move on to reflections. Now it is the seventh slide.
Yeah.
These are the things I learned. Now, as Mr. Hettiarachchi mentioned earlier, like the speciality in participating in the summer programs is in each program is a very short, but it is focused on a very specialized area. Now, in my case, it was on medical tourism. Now, medical tourism is a sort of new area of knowledge for me, as I am coming from a different background as psychology. But so in that case, it was a really great opportunity to see that there is such a field existing in the world, and in Sri Lanka, particularly in medical tourism, it's not so advanced. It is still in its infancy. So in the participating at this summer school gave me a new additional knowledge about this existing subject. That is one of the best thing happened. And now I will move on to the 8th slide.
Yes.
And this is another big benefit I got from this program. That is meeting people with diverse cultural backgrounds. Now my program, I think we had about 15 participants. Now these participants included like from India, Pakistan, Nigeria, Canada, Mexico, Korea, um, Tajikistan, so something like that. It's also from Germany. So it was a very diverse group. So it was really interesting to share our different cultural experiences, and we lived there for 2 weeks together. So we went to different places to see with all of them, and we made a like really great friendships with them, and still we keep on contact with them. So I still keep on keep contact with them. So it's a wonderful experience that I got, other than the knowledge I had from participating in this program. And the next slide is on adaptability. This is one of the best thing I learned by participating, because this was my first European visit. So everything was a kind of new for me, like food, weather, even the people. So adapting to these different kinds of situations and conditions was a really challenging, and it was a positive challenge actually. I still that could be added to my life. This is the 10th slide now.
Yeah.
This is one of the unique experiences in this summer program was we had excursions in different parts of Germany. We went to as I said before, we went to Cologne, Stuttgart, and also what I want to mention here, like while we are doing those excursions, if we had some other free time. So in those times we used to travel on our own. Especially we went to Switzerland, we went to Basel. That was not included in the program, but we had some free time, so we went to see those places. And also Munich is one of the other places that was not included in our excursions, but since we had some free time during the weekend and sometimes in the evening, so we had the opportunity of traveling to those other areas as well. So that was one of the greatest things. So that's why I always say this participating in this program is not just getting a new knowledge or just a certificate or presenting your research paper. It has a lot of added package. It's a whole package added with so many other things. Now I am on my 11th slide.
Yes.
Other than the things that I discussed before, now by the time I applied for this German program, I was working as a psychologist in a different not-for-profit organization, not the present one. So and then I got a really good offer from the present organization, CVT, to be selected into that present organization. The participation to this summer school, particularly presenting a paper, getting a European exposure, these were some of the main reasons for my selection for the present post. And also I wanted to mention here that now my present organization is based on US, so I had to travel to US for a certain period of time, and while getting US visa, it was very easy for me to get a US visa since because I had a Schengen visa on my passport. So in that way, it was a kind of building trust on you, like that. There's a really a big procedure when you get visa. You have to acknowledge the visa officer that you will come back to your country, and so in that way, having a Schengen visa on your passport was a great advantage for me to get US visa. And other than that, as I said before, this is my first European visit, so it was a great challenge for me because, for instance, airport I landed in Germany was Munich. That was the one of the biggest and busiest airport I have ever seen by then. And finding my way was a challenge. And also meeting people and talking to people who are speaking a different language. Sometimes you have communication problems, but still those were like challenges. But at the end, you how somehow you can make them overcome. So those sort of things are the added things that you learn when you travel in another country, even for a short period of time. And also following instructions, you have to meet deadlines, you have to be punctual when you are applying for the program, and also when you are making appointments with visa officers, going to embassy. So all of these things tells you and teach you how to follow instructions, how to be punctual, and how to meet deadlines. And also it is really great to have the guidance of Mr. Hettiarachchi, because he guided me in the right manner, and I faced those interviews at the embassy alone, and those things helped me to improve my confidence level, and to do things on my own, find my own way. So that kind of guidance is also I really appreciate. Rather than doing things for me, he guided me, and then I was the one who did those things for me. So that was a very great experience, other than participating in the summer school. So basically, these are the things I have to share with you all, and it is really nice to have a discussion with you and share my experiences. If you have any query or any question to ask, you can ask me now or maybe later on our page on summer school, summer programs in Germany on Facebook. And also thank you very much for listening to me, and I wish you all the best for application and for the whole thing. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now it's almost 12:48. We have like been about 45 minutes, 145 minutes. But I want to complete this session by explaining you how we should proceed, and then we can open for discussion.